Hello brothers and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to take a look at Vigilus Ablaze, the brand new Vigilus campaign book, because the story has been put out online. Only the brief summary between Imperium and Chaos has been put online. I am going to do another video once I get my fully hands on the book, and then I can do like with what's going on with the Gene Stealers, what's going on with the Orcs, and of course more with the Chaos Imperium. I can do like a longer video, but for now we're just going to keep it to the briefing that has been put online. So this was posted over on the subreddit 40k lore by a chap called Radota2. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, mate. So massive shout out to this guy. And also a massive shout out to 40k lore as well. If you haven't gone over there and checked it out there, what are you doing with your life? Please go and do it. It's probably one of the best 40k subreddits there is. They discuss lore, book extracts, all the kind of awesome stuff. Even if you're like up to date with all the lore and stuff like that, there's some like great debates and everything. It's a really, really good place. Go and check it out. Link in the description of this video. Okay, let's jump in and let's get to reading. So it says the Chaos invasion is at first overwhelming, but the clever use of seeding ground to the Orcs, Gene Stealers, etc. means that Calgar is able to pit his foes against one another and slow them down, at the cost of the planet being less salvageable should they somehow win. It states the vengeful spirit and accompanying Chaos fleets are absolutely decimating the Imperial Navy, but it's still not quite enough. As a result, Abaddon makes a deal with the Fallen, and in brackets we got who are hiding in the swirl as they have a fortress city in there, hence why the Dark Angels were always looking at it in Book 1. And they activate a gravity weapon thing called a Void Claw that messes with all the ships in orbit. The Chaos Navy knew it was coming and had positioned themselves accordingly, but the Imperials are shredded by it, and Chaos now have overwhelming naval superiority. Calgar realizes he's stuffed, and his promise to Gilliman will be unfulfilled if things keep progressing at this rate, so he hatches a plan. The thing is, he ideally needs some Eldar friends if the plan is going to work, so he goes to the angry Siam Hanlot, and after fighting his way through to them and surrounding them, manages to hold a successful parley. So he says the plan is basically take an Aldari ship because they're stealthy to avoid radar, and have Psychers to avoid the Black Legion Sorcerer's psychic radar, fill it with a bunch of Death Strike missiles, and ram the Vengeful Spirit like a fire ship, making Francis Drake proud. So while this plan is going on, Abaddon and Calgar, plus their respective bodyguards, have their duel. Calgar is trying to draw it out, and this is okay at the start, but eventually, the superiority of Abaddon's war gear is what really does it, and Calgar gets sliced open, with his primary heart completely kaput, and his secondary one with a big dent in it. Just as Abaddon is about to finish him, Harkon gets word that the Vengeful Spirit is in trouble, and Abaddon falls back, which really pisses off his thirsty sword, basically his big demonic sword. He says, sure enough, the plan worked, with the Imperial Navy's remaining ships trying to open up a path for the Aldari. There's a funny little bit here about how they dragged so many ships for this attack away from other planets that the Necrons, etc. just took them. Oh, that's very interesting. And the Eldar managed to ram the Vengeful Spirit, ripping a whopping great hole in it. The ship is nearly dead, but manages to pull off an emergency warp translation. And there, he's putting brackets in there for, will probably be fixed up for the next time the writers need to use it. Yes, I agree. And he finishes off with Calgar survives his grievous wounds, but is no longer able to fight on the front. Instead, directing everything from the apothecarian bed, Vigilus is still absolutely boned, but it's not quite over yet. And he put, that's all folks, at the end. So it ends in another stalemate, another basically minute to midnight kind of scenario where is it going to fall? Is it going to blow up? Who's going to win? And I'm kind of frustrated. I'm kind of bored of that ending, to be completely fair. I'd rather just Chaos win. Chaos turned up with all the Daka, all the ships, all the demons and stuff like that, you know, the massive fleets. Abaddon, who's like this legendary figure during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy, and now in 40k, he's like the main, I'm doing air quotes, villain here, and for him just to not take the planet, I'd just rather GW just would have given the planet. I think it would have made a bigger impact in the story if Vigilus actually fell. Another planet has fallen to Chaos, and then it really starts turning people's heads then, because, oh my god, Vigilus has fallen, what do we do now? And the reason all this is a stalemate is because Abaddon basically ran from battle because the vengeful spirit was on fire. I get this. That makes completely no sense to me. If Abaddon was about to strike down Calgar, then that is surely more of a victory rather than losing a Gloriana class vengeful spirit. It's, you know, if you cut the head off the beast in that sector, and I'm on about the Imperial beast, which is obviously Calgar, then the whole structure of the Imperial defenses or the forces in that sector will crumble along with his death. So tactically, killing Calgar would have made more sense than losing the vengeful spirit. It just doesn't make it's really not an Abaddon type of move. He definitely just would have chose to kill Calgar and then just rode on another ship and something like that. Unless there's something on the vengeful spirit that is very, very important that we don't actually know about, because I've read the Black Legion books by Remsky Bowden, and as far as I'm aware, there's nothing really special about the Vengeful Spirit except that it is one of these massive Gloriana class ships. It is a massive ship, but there's nothing really special on board with it. Well, there is, a crystallized sanguineous that cries and stuff like that, but that's really nothing special, really. Don't get me wrong, Death Strike missiles, loading a bunch of them into an Eldari ship, ramming it into the Vengeful Spirit, watching it explode, fire burning, parts blowing off and stuff like that. That's amazing, that's cool. I would pay to watch that in a film. But again, tactically, it doesn't make sense for Abaddon to retreat back to the ship. He was about to strike down the commander in the sector. If he chopped his head off, victory would have been his. Victory would have been absolutely chaos. They would have just purged everything then. It doesn't make sense. I can't wait to get my hands on the book and read it for myself. I really want to see more of the Fallen. Hopefully there's some battles with them, with the Dark Angels and all that kind of stuff. I really, 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 really want Calgar to learn about the Fallen, or some kind of other chapters to learn about the Fallen. And whoa, you guys are heretics, stuff like. Well, I'm sure there has been other chapters that I've learned about them, but they probably had a small accident down the road, and we never heard from them again. Alright chaps, that is me done for another video. Tell me what you think. Did you like the story? Did you like the ending? Do you think Abaddon was right to return to the Vengeful Spirit and leave as he was about to strike down Calgar? Leave all your feedback below and we'll have a nice healthy discussion about it down there. Again, as soon as I get my book, I will be doing a full-on, in detail, I say review in air quotes, but just sitting down, looking at all the Orc stuff, looking at hopefully the Dark Angels, the Imperial Fist stuff, the Ultramarine stuff, the Gene Stealer stuff, everything that's happening. Do a nice big more information video and see what's going on actually in this book. Once again, thank you for the chap over on Reddit called Radota. Again, sorry if I mispronounced your name, mate. And also go and check out our 40k lore. Link is in the description of this video. See you in a bit. Have a great night and bye-bye.